Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir, for joining. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. इसको बंद कर दो इधर।
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second day of International Conference ICIST 2021. A very good morning to one and all. Thank you for being with us once again. I'm again super excited to be here. For those who are joining us today, first time to this ICIST, it is one of the international conference which provide platform to the international researchers to achieve their destiny, because we know if you can see it, you can do it. Before we start, I would like to thank you once again. We love you to share.
Thank you, ma'am. And welcome to everyone on the second day of ICIST 2021. Today we are going to celebrate National Mathematics Day in this conference. As we all know, in this world, if anyone is happy that he have a hope that if there is a difficulty in their life, then it has a solution also. And exactly, mathematics also says that every problem has a solution. So Now we are going to celebrate this mathematical day in the memory of great mathematician Sri Ramanujan Srinivasa Ramanujan, who was born on 22 December 1887. He is an extraordinary person who worked in the number theory and got his master degree at the age of 12 years. Since today is 22 December, birthday of great mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan, which is celebrated as National Mathematical Day. So happy Mathematics Day to all. Today, we celebrate National Mathematics Day in the memory of Srinivasa Ramanujan. One incident was happened in the life of Srinivasa Ramanujan, which shows that he was an extraordinary person in his life. That is, during his primary education, the teacher was teaching division. And teacher asked you have to apply, and a student, the applies are distributed equally. The student then how many apples each are will student replied. If we distribute 10 apples in 10 students equally, then how many apples each are will get? Then it is obviously 1. Then his teacher asked that is there be any problem to understand this concept? So no problem is there for any student. But there is one student who have the doubt, and doubt is that when there is no apples and no students, then what will be the answer? That is, if we divide 0 by 0, then what will be the answer? And at that time, the teacher was unable to give the answer because all we know that 0 by 0 is undetermined. It can be 1, it can be 2, or it can be 3 also. So this shows that the teacher, the great Srinivasa Ramanujan, has extraordinary. Another example is that if we add some natural numbers, we will get positive number. Sum of natural number is positive number. All we know 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n have a exact answer, that is n plus 1 upon 2. Have you ever think the sum of positive natural number being a negative? Yes, Ramanujan has proved that sum of infinite natural number is negative, that is minus 1 upon 12. So all these things shows that Srinivasa Ramanujan is a great mathematician. He gave the new direction in mathematics. He have done number of theorems, about 5,000 theorems on his slate only, because he was poor. He don't have so much money to write on these papers. So he have solved all these theorems, 5,000 theorems on slate. So this Mathematics Day, let me present something special from our students. Please.
Maths gives us hope that every problem has a solution, isn't it? See, if you observe in maths, every question, every problem has its own answer or solution. So, whenever you face difficulties in your life, just think about mathematics because it says that there is a solution for your problem also.
A heartiest good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Anjali,
And I, Sheetal Tyagi,
from CSE branch of Galgotia's College of Engineering and Technology, would like to throw some light on this very auspicious occasion of National Mathematics Day on Sir Srinivasa Ramanujan's life. We are here with some interesting facts about mathematics that you all will definitely enjoy.
An equation means nothing to me unless it expresses a thought of God. Srinivasa Ramanujan, Indian mathematician who changed the future of maths. The former Prime Minister of India, Shri Manmohan Singh ji, announced 22nd December as a National Mathematics Day to commemorate the contribution of Ramanujan ji to the field of maths. Ramanujan never received formal education for maths, but he was gifted maths by birth. He could quickly solve the toughest mathematics question within a few minutes. He provided a direction to the field of maths. By the age of 12, he had mastered trigonometry and had developed many theorems for us. He faced many difficulties in his life, which gives us an inspiration, and now he became one of the most successful mathematicians in the world of old times.
In 1916, Ramanujan got his degree from Cambridge and his research went from strength to strength. He published one excellent paper after another with a great deal of Hardy's help in the proofs and presentations. They also collaborated on several great projects and published wonderful joint papers. Ramanujan was elected to the London Mathematical Society in 1917. Next year, he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society for his research on elliptic functions and the theory of numbers. In the very same year, in October, he became the first Indian to be elected a Fellow of the Trinity College. Srinivasa Ramanujan made substantial contributions to mathematical analysis, number theory, infinite series, and continued fractions, including solutions to mathematical problems then considered unsolvable. Ramanujan's other notable contributions include the hypergeometric series, the Riemann series, the elliptic integrals, the theory of divergent series, and the functional equation of the zeta function.
So, mathematics, it is such a subject that with somebody understand it, for them it becomes such a favorite subject that for them, each and every time they call maths, maths, and maths. On the other hand, there are some people for those maths just goes out from the top of their head. Is this happening with you? If this is happening with you, please don't let it go from the top of your head. Drag and back, put in your mind, because without mathematics, we all are just incomplete. Everything around us and everything in the world is only about mathematics. We all are surrounded with mathematics in one way and another. I would like to describe with an example. How many times in a day you all see your watches? Of course, the answer will be many times in a day. Can you do shopping without mathematics? No, of course not, because the counting notes you need mathematics. Even the illiterate people know how to see time in the clock and watches. They can count a number on their fingers. Even they know how to count a money, isn't it? So my final conclusion is that mathematics is the universal language that we all should definitely know. On my final note, we pay our heartiest tribute to the master mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan, whose contributions are really inspiring for us. At last, I would like to say that keep learning mathematics. Now, I want to share some information regarding prize which acquired by the young mathematician. Nina Gupta, fourth Indian mathematician to the receive Ramanujan Prize for Young Mathematician. Nina Gupta, a professor and a mathematician at the Indian Statistical Institute in Calcutta, has been awarded the 2021 DST ICTP IMU Ramanujan Prize for Young Mathematician for developing countries of her outstanding work in affine algebraic geometry and commutative algebra. She is the fourth Indian mathematician to receive the prestigious awards.
And Indian mathematician Nikhil Srivastav has been named winner of the prestigious 2021 Michael and Sheila Held Award, along with the two others for solving the long-standing questions on the Cadison-Singer problem and on Ramanujan's graph.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Rajesh Tripathi, Director Sir GCET, Dr. Brijesh Singh, Dr. Pratap Kumar Yadav, Dr. Vinay Gautam, and Dr. Deepak Kumar to please pay homage to the great mathematician Srinivasan Ramanujan. Sir, please. I'd like to extend my hearty welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Vikas Singh, Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Raipur. He is a very passionate teacher and has positively impacted the career and the life of more than 5,000 students directly in his classroom over his 25 years of teaching experience. He is a TEDx speaker. He is the author of bestseller category education book, Paper to Screen, The Future of Education. Dr. Singh has published more than 30 papers and many patents and books. Dr. Singh has been honored with the hundreds of best award like Best Academician Director by India Today, Excellence and Innovation in Engineering Education by Business World, Top 50 Distinguished Educator in Higher Education across India by Chennai. He is an iconic leader in higher education by AKS Education Award. Dr. Singh has also been received the Lifetime Achievement Award for Education Excellence by IEDRA. So now I invite Dr. Singh to please deliver your lecture, sir, please. Over to you, sir.
Pranam, Namaskar. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thanks to Dr. Bipin for inviting me on this wonderful occasion of National Mathematics Day. And it's really a big pleasure for me to be interacting with the faculty members of Galgodia Institution and other institutions who are participating in this. The conference, ICIAST. My very best wishes to the conference. The topic, which I would like to be discussing with you all is, we have been discussing about Mr. Ramanujan, his wonderful contribution to the area of mathematics. But one small point in which I would like to add here is the example of, Dr. Hardy. Dr. Hardy was his teacher, co-author in many of his research papers. Now we have, been discussing about Ramanujan Sahab and his contribution. He was so passionate about mathematics that when he joined a college for higher education, he was excelling in mathematics, but he could not pass the other subjects. And that is why, because of his lack of interest, that is why he never, graduated. Now, his work was exemplary. The kind of theorems he was writing, because, as was rightly mentioned by the host, that, Ramanujan used to say that the equations that I'm writing are basically thoughts from, his goddess. So those theorems that he was writing, he was not able to get them published because at that point of time, there were not many publications in India, especially in the area of science and technology and mathematics. And that is why he was not able to publish those theorems. So one of his friend, where he was working in ports. So one of his friend, shared his work with a very renowned mathematician in Britain, Dr. Hardy. Dr. Hardy went through those papers of, Ramanujan. He liked the work very much. And from here, my talk or my discussion starts. That what is so special about, Dr. Hardy, and what as teachers, we can learn from how he dealt with this entire episode of Ramanujan and how Ramanujan became, such a renowned mathematician world over, even though he was not a graduate, and how a good, passionate teacher can actually contribute to the success of his pupil or students. So this is a very, short kind of story. I would be just bringing out a few things which we all, can learn, can look forward to. When Dr. Hardy received those papers from India, and when he went through that, the work was absolutely exemplary. It was never published before. And because he was in know of things, he was in Britain, he was at Trinity College, a very renowned, famous college there in where Newton also studied there. Newton was a professor also there in Trinity. So he was very impressed by that work. He knew that most of it is never published before, but Ramanujan didn't share the proof of those theorems. So he, as a professor, invited Ramanujan to Britain from India and paid all the expenses. So those days, 6,000 kilometers away, there is a student, or you can say a child in India, and he was a professor at Trinity. He paid for the expense of travel to 6,000 kilometers and invited Ramanujan all the way to Britain. And when they had their meeting, Ramanujan was very enthused, very excited. Of course, one should be, because during those days, he was from a quite poor family, and he landed in the Trinity College of Britain. So he was very excited. So he immediately said to his professor, Dr. Henry, that, get my work published. And this is such a big opportunity. Dr. Henry said that it is not possible to publish only the theorems. It is important that we publish the proof also, the process also, that how you are reaching these particular theorems. And Ramanujan was not having the proofs available. Would you believe Dr. Henry, his colleagues said to Dr. Henry that Ramanujan's work is so good that if you start proving his theorems along with Ramanujan, the name would be there for Ramanujan and you will not be having enough time to think about your own unique ideas. But still, as a teacher, he took this responsibility and said, no, these theorems are very profound. They are going to have impact on the future direction of mathematics. He in fact mentioned to his friends that the work of Ramanujan is in the category of the work of Euler, another mathematician of earlier era. That passion to develop the work of student is something which is extraordinary. So I would say the first thing for a good teacher is to be a passionate teacher. One should be a teacher by choice and not a teacher by chance. When I say teacher by choice, there is a general feeling that faculty members or teachers are in this teaching profession not because of their first choice, but because they didn't get a good rewarding job in some other corporate world, some other area, some area of their first choice. And that is why they have landed in this profession of academics teaching as their second choice. So this brings a doubt on the passion of the teachers. So if you want to transform yourself, my first take would be that you should be a teacher by choice. Why I'm saying all this? Do I have credentials to speak about transforming teachers? Let me quickly share with you, though I've been nicely introduced. Let me quickly share my small journey of 30 years. I started my career in the industry. After my graduation in mechanical engineering, I got a job with Goenka Group as their shift engineer, a trainee shift engineer. I worked in that company and then I got a switch. I shifted to a Birla Group company. I worked in that Birla Group company. During those times, it was 97,
दिखा रहा
98.
है, दिखा रहा होगा
During that time,
डॉक्टर विजयवीर सिंह। हाँ, मिल शो कर रहा है ना।
yeah, I think I was muted by the host. So during those times, private education was taking shape, and I was invited by a very premium institution of management in Ghaziabad, IMT, to take lectures, on visiting basis. And I tell you, I liked that experience so much that I decided to switch from corporate job, industry job to academics. And it has been wonderful throughout. So the first thing is, being a passionate teacher. I became dean at a very young age. I became director at a very young age. And I'm one of the youngest vice chancellors in the country. I became vice chancellor before my 49th birthday, around 48 years. I became vice chancellor, when generally you have vice chancellors which are over 55, around 60 years of age. Why I'm sharing this? I'm sharing this because there are few qualities, if you develop in yourself, you can become amazing teachers. And, I personally believe, just like in 1991, when Honorable Prime Minister at that time, Manmohan Singh ji, liberated the Indian economy through that notion of globalization, liberalization, and Lakshmi, Mata Lakshmi was, freed from clutches of Samajwad and all those earlier days theories. Because people in India started earning huge money, large salaries, and they became rich. They started enjoying the fruits of wealth. Likewise, last year, by this new national education policy, I personally believe that the clutches of Mata Saraswati is also now removed, and we are going to see a transformational change, if not in school education, but at least in higher education, transformational change. And why I'm saying this transformational change? Because this new education policy has understood the requirement of Generation Z students. This new education policy is touching the pulse of the young students, the new age students, which I call them, and the direction they would like to take in next 15, 20 years. These new age students, they have very different aspirations and they have much higher exposure. Their exposure is much, much high and their aspirations are very, very big. And their patience is very, very less. And I'm using the word very, very 2 times to emphasize that we teachers must appreciate this change. These students have been exposed to some of the best teachers. They are attending EDX programs, EDX courses. They are attending Coursera courses. They are attending SWAYAM NPTEL programs. They are getting exposed to the best teachers of the world, best teachers of the country, and the way those teachers are teaching them. So you as a teacher must appreciate that when you are in your class, when you are in your lecture, those kids, your students, are going to compare you with those Coursera, EDX, Udemy, NPTEL, SWAYAM teachers. And that is why it is very essential to transform yourself and to become, when I talk to teachers all across, I've been talking to teachers on various platforms, there is a general tendency that because of this new education policy, there might be, because it is permitting more online lectures, more online courses, there might be a situation where full-time teachers, the number might be less, not that much requirement. But I am of the opinion that the teachers which get transformed in next 5 years, they are going to have huge and amazing opportunities which we teachers never had. Now, what is required to exploit that opportunity? Let me share that quickly. When a student joins a program and want to make a career, there are 4 things which are required to make a successful career by a student. They are knowledge, skill, behavior, and attitude. Knowledge, skill, behavior, attitude. As a teacher, you must learn the concept of outcome-based education. Now, Galgodia being such a prominent institution, you must be having NAC accreditation, you must be having NBA accreditation of all the programs. I'm very certain, I'm very confident, very sure. But as a teacher, are you using outcome-based education in your lecture? And when I'm saying outcome-based education, it means every activity in your lecture, whatever you are doing in your lecture, whether it's a small project, whether it's a live project, whether it is a class discussion, class presentation, your lab experiment, maybe a case study, whatever activity that you are doing in your class, it should be focused on a certain outcome. And that certain outcome must be mapped with either knowledge or skill or behavior or attitude. It means the learning should be in one or many of these four directions. The students are now exposed to multiple streams. So you as a teacher, like let's say you are a teacher of mathematics, the domain independent knowledge is also very crucial. And when I'm saying domain independent knowledge, it means where this mathematics can be applied, where this mathematics can be used. Because, you know, as mathematics, you can have mathematics in the science stream also. You have mathematics in arts also. You have BA where mathematics is a subject. You have commerce where mathematics is a subject. You have engineering where mathematics is a subject. You have technology, BTech, where mathematics is a subject. So mathematics, if I'm taking example of mathematics, mathematics has very many applications. It can be applied. It's a logical application, can be in various directions. So if you are a teacher of mathematics, you must learn where all these theorems can be applied. Because a student of your class is more interested, being a student of technology, being a student of engineering, is more interested that where this knowledge will be applied. If I'm learning in this in your lecture, how I'm going to apply this learning in my future role, in my future jobs, how I will be able to apply this knowledge. Now, as a teacher, to encourage them, to create their interest, to sustain their interest, it is very essential that you link your subject, your domain, your subject knowledge with the future applications. So the focus should be on outcome-based education. Focus should be on domain-independent areas where your domain can be applied. Focus should be on teaching learning process in your lecture. The department had its own responsibilities. The college director has its own responsibilities. But as a guru in the class, as a teacher in the class, in the lecture, you are the person who is responsible to ensure that teaching, learning process happens in your lecture. Now, because the students are exposed to so many things, it is time that you also get exposed or learn those new tools of teaching. Learn how to use artificial intelligence. Learn how to use cloud technology. Learn how to use AR/VR tools, blended learning, hybrid learning, use of video contents, peer group activities between students. There are so many things in all Coursera programs, in all EDX programs, there is a peer group activity. There are certain live projects in various courses. Are you having in your program a capstone course, a capstone project? There are things which a faculty must learn on his own or on her own. The institution, the good institution like Galgotia, they will provide you opportunities like this conference, FDP programs. They are the opportunities using which you need to develop yourself. Let me share with you the size of the opportunity. Right now in India, we have 50,000 colleges and we have 1,000 universities. And I tell you, in next 5 years, because of this new national education policy, because of the direction this new policy is showing, at least 1,000 new universities are going to come. And those 1,000 good colleges will be converting into universities. Look at the size of opportunity for teachers, good teachers. There is some echoing in the sound. Look at the size of the opportunity for young teachers. There will be, if there are 1,000 universities, there will be so many professors required, associate professors required, so many HODs will be required, so many deans will be required, so many pro vice chancellors will be required, so many vice chancellors will be required. So if you are ready to transform yourself as a teacher, you take this onus on yourself, you take this individual responsibility on yourself, that yes, I'm going to transform myself. I'm going to become a new age teacher, which can address the requirements of new age students. Then sky is going to be the limit. You can be very, very successful in next 5 years. The point is, become like Dr. Hardy. Dr. Hardy, the guru of Ramanujan, supported him during those days to travel 6,000 miles from India using a ship to Britain, and he paid for the entire journey cost. He was the one who fought with Royal Society in Britain and ensured that Ramanujan gets fellowship. He was not eligible because he was not a graduate, and there was a strong feeling in Britain of those years, because he was Indian. Ramanujan was Indian, number one, and number two, he was not a graduate. So there was a strong repulsion. The society was not ready to accept Ramanujan as its fellow. But then, as a good professor, as a passionate professor, as a passionate teacher, he took up his cause. He discussed with the entire judges of that fellowship granting committee and expressed that Ramanujan work is exemplary and he should be given fellowship of the society. And Ramanujan became the first Indian to get the fellowship from Royal Society of Britain in mathematics. So my submission is that as a teacher, you can actually bring transformation in yourself, and you can bring transformation in the students of your class. So become a transformational teacher. Please change yourself. Please learn new skills, gain new knowledge, change your attitude, become passionate teacher, and sky is going to be the limit in next 5 years. Thank you very much to Dr. Bipin for inviting me for this
Thank you, sir.
address. It's really, really a pleasure and honor to be interacting with such illuminated minds, the faculty members of.
Thank you for such a nice presentation. It is really an honor for us also. Okay, Aryan. Sir, please unmute yourself. Sorry, mute yourself, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, I have unmuted. Thank you so much.
Such a nice presentation. It was really an amazing presentation, sir, and it's insightful thought. And we are also honored to have you here, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Rajesh Tripathi, sir, to please present a token of appreciation to Dr. Vikas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your nice words. And we will try to follow all those suggestions, advices you have given in your short speech. And this is a token of love from us to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
I wish all the very best to the conference, and I wish that all the participants are going to be learning a lot from this experience. Wish all the best. Thank you so much for inviting me. Pleasure.
So now at last, on the occasion of National Mathematics Day, I wish all your joy multiply and your sorrow gets abstracted from your life.
Wonderful.
So thank you, everyone. Now it's time for tea break. Please be back at 11. or 11th one for the next session. Thank you.
बस मैं ग्रुप में डाल दूँ
Nigeria.